First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Robert Smullen is the Assemblyman. He was running unopposed in this last election.
He was one of the few.
He handles an enormously large district. It's very similar to at least Stefanik's district. That goes all the way from here all the way out to the Middle District. And Robert Smullen is on the line right now. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Bill. It's great to be on Keeler in the morning.
Great to have you on, and we appreciate it. Let's start with, obviously, this is great for Elise Stefanik. This is an incredible position, ambassador to the UN, something held previously by Nikki Haley. But it does create a bit of a domino effect here in the area. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's fantastic that Elise Stefanik is going to be appointed by President Trump as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. You know, that's a very important role in the world, and especially so today, where a very tough leader who has all of the credentials, who has all of these skills at the local, at the state, at the national, international level, to be able to run that organization and represent America, that's a very signal achievement, and President Trump has really picked a great person to be able to do that.
Yeah, but his gain is our loss. It opens up, obviously, the seat, and let's just get right to it. Your name certainly being floated. Are you going to actively pursue the position of congressman?
More like when to announce you're running for that position.
Well, you guys, I really appreciate you thinking so highly of putting my name out there. There's lots of people that are interested in such a position. It's a very important role. You know, backfilling someone like Congresswoman Stefanik is it's a big task. Those are enormous shoes to fill. So thank you guys for thinking of me in that regard. Right now, this news is 24 hours old, sort of thing. And of course, there are other things that are coming out of the transition as well. And in case you didn't know, Lee Zeldin, who's the former governor, has been nominated to run the Environmental Protection Administration. So lots of things are out there. Lots of conversations are going on. And it's a bit early, I would say, to be speculating about such things.
Well, not for us.
No way. Come on. We thought of you instantly.
We speculate prematurely almost every day about so many things. The reality is, though, let's talk about your expertise, your history, your resume. Can you talk about what you did in the military? To me, it would fit right in
with that district,
to a congressional role, especially with Watertown and Rome in the district.
Well, certainly I spent a lot of time in the national security arena. I was, not only did I do 3 tours in Afghanistan, but I also did a tour in the Pentagon where I worked on defense strategy and policy and reviews, and I've spent a lot of time in the military itself at the Marine Corps headquarters, also at the Pentagon. So I do have some experience in the national security realm. I've also got a lot of experience over the last 6 years of representing the Mohawk Valley and the west half of the Adirondacks in the New York State Assembly. All of those experiences, they add up to something. But like I said before, I think it's a little too early to be too far out there to be able to talk about these things.
Yeah. Fair enough. When do you think that, obviously, this is all moving forward now that Elise Stefanik has accepted the nomination? When do you feel that you'll be able to come to a conclusion?
Well, that'll happen, of its own due course as the process works its way forward. She has been announced that she's going to be nominated. She has to be confirmed by the United States Senate. We're confident that she will be, given the results of the recent election. And then that triggers a session which the governor will call. And then from there, things will start to happen.
Well, and it will be interesting. One thing we said is Democrats are going to want to pick up these Republican seats. I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to put a lot of money and a lot of effort into gaining another seat in Congress. I can't imagine this seat will be excluded from that. Certainly wasn't This area certainly in the 22nd was not ignored by any means.
Well, certainly for a special election, there'll be, great focus on it by all parties concerned.
Yep.
And it'll be a lot of resources will certainly be spent on that, that sort of race.
And I want to tell you, this will be we'll be speaking off the record. We are clearly live on the radio. I don't want to deceive you by any means, but off the record, quote unquote, we've been with you on this right from the very beginning. Whenever you come on, we always end up talking about national and international issues because of your knowledge in that area. So I think we've been ahead of, and this is not putting the horse
cart before the hearse,
behind the cart, if you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we've been there from the beginning. Our conversations always seem to go national and international with you.
Well, I always like to talk about the issues that are on constituent minds, whether it's the economics of our Mohawk Valley or if it's the issues of the day. We based with these things over the last year with the attack on Israel, all of the outcomes from that, the war with Iran via Hezbollah and Hamas. And, these things are going to change. With a change in administration, policies change. And they will become very important. And that's why, it's what's happening right now. You'll note at the national level, they haven't announced who's going to be the Secretary of State or the Secretary of Defense yet. Those are very important roles that are going to be filled. But it's all coming together, and you can see that there's going to be a change in policy with the Trump administration having to do with these things. And it's important to the people of our area because national security does matter. It may not matter in your daily life, but overall, what America's role in the world is very important.
Yeah. Assemblyman, it is believed, and not confirmed yet, it is believed or reported that Marco Rubio will get the role of Secretary of State. What are your thoughts on that, one? And a two-part question, what do you make of some of the things that we're seeing internationally just on the heels of Trump being named president-elect?
Well, so I haven't heard any of the rumors that you're referring to, but that's why they're rumors. So that will develop over the next few days, I'm sure. But as far as all these things do, these policies they do matter. And there's the American people listened to President Trump when he said that if he had been in office, we wouldn't have had a war in Ukraine. Hamas wouldn't be so emboldened as to attack Israel. And all of the bad actors that are around the world is still a dangerous place. It always has been. It always will be. Respond to a strong leader in this regard. And if they always say that if you want to have peace, you should prepare for a position of strength to do so. And I do believe that.
You've always been very, very tough on the issue of Ukraine, very all in terms of supporting Ukraine because they're really the only first line of defense we have against Vladimir Putin. However, it does seem that President Trump is giving us a bit of a preview, saying that he will solve this, and the only way you're really going to be able to solve it, I can't imagine any other way than Ukraine giving up certain territory to Russia officially. Your policy seems to differ on that. How do you feel?
I don't know that it does, Bill. But what has to be done is that the Russians are being stopped in Ukraine by the Ukrainians with our help, with NATO's help, and all of those actions over the past couple years, have proven that when someone is an aggressor and when they take actions like the Russians did in Ukraine, the policy is to stop them. And then you have to bring the war to a conclusion. And I think that's what's really happening right now is that the war will be brought to a conclusion.
All right. Do you feel Ukraine should give up? Should they negotiate and give up certain territory?
And would that be taken as appeasement to an extent?
Well, I don't know. It would depend on what it is and what the conditions are, and what the Ukrainians actually end up feeling about.
Right.
But what we don't want is a forever war in Ukraine. That would be a long-term flashpoint that could really bring Europe into a wider war.
Other than our talk of resolving the issue, it doesn't seem like there is any resolution at all right now between the two countries.
It's very tough, and The same thing with Israel and with Palestinians. The issues are out there. Are they being solved? It's hard to tell because they've been around for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, we're going to keep an eye on you. We'll
be watching you.
We feel you're a prime candidate for this. I mean, I hate to put you in the middle of it all, but we feel you're a prime candidate for this position.
Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on your show.
All right, thank you so much.
Always.
Have a great day. We'll talk soon.
You too. Take care.
Right, thanks. Assemblyman Robert Smullen.
He's not someone who gets, as we said before, the cart before the horse with anything.
No, and I got to say, he's not giving anything up if that's not his plan. He's very disciplined.
Yes.
I feel that he is.
Military background.
And the other part of this is it is true. Every time we have talked to him, we talk about state issues and then we move on to
He's very
Ukraine,
well versed in
to Israel, Gaza, and all of what's going on in the world. North Korea, Iran. He has so much military knowledge of all of this. Boy, I can't think of anybody that would be more prepared for this job. And talk about seeing it open up is. I don't think anybody really saw this coming. Obviously, once President Trump became President-elect Trump, I think a lot of people were talking about it. But prior to, you weren't even thinking about losing at least Stefanik in this district, which now covers the entire city of Rome and Griffiths. Quick break, and we'll wrap it up here on Tuesday morning at WIBX.